Hi everybody, this is your Earth Science notes for today, and I want you guys to label these notes in your notes section as the bubble method. Okay, make sure you guys write in the date too. Okay, so whatever day you're watching this. Alright, so the bubble method is used in the metric system to convert between units. Like, let's say you have a number in kilometers, but you want it in meters. This method will show you how to convert that. Alright, so let's write what we remember about the metric system. So one of the most common conversions is the kilo. Okay, so kilo can be put in front of, could be a gram, so you could have a kilogram, a kilometer, or if it's volume, it would be a liter. Okay? It doesn't matter what you're measuring, it all works the same way. 1 kilo something is always 1,000 of that same thing. Okay? So this would be again grams, meters, or liters. Okay, so I'll give you an example. 1 kilogram equals 1,000 grams. Okay, so you always want to make sure these two match. Alright, so let's think of some other things that we know. We also know that 1 meter, okay, and actually I'm going to erase this. Oops. There we go. Okay, so 1 gram, meter, or liter. So let's just consider meter. Remember our meter sticks? They had 100 centimeters in it. Okay, so remember this blank could be grams, meters, or liters. So for instance, 1 gram is 100 centigrams. All right, let's think of some other ones. So there was 10 millimeters in every 1 centimeter. You guys remember that? All right, so let's go ahead and start with those conversions. So here's what you do. The problems that you're going to get about this are going to look something like this. All right, let's start with an example. Okay, 2.56 kilometers. I want you to convert that into meters. All right, step 1 is always to take what you start with, 2.56 kilometers, and stick that over 1 and stick it in a bubble. That's why this is called the bubble method. All right, now the next step is to convert it to meters, okay? So here's what you do. Whatever units you want to go away, you put diagonal. So I want kilometers to go away. I put that diagonal, whatever you want, you stick it on top. Okay, so we're all set up here because kilometers are going to cancel out. And I'm going to be left with meters. So now what I want to do is plug in the numbers that make these equal to each other. So I'm going to look up here and see how 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters. I'm going to put in that information. So make sure when you add bubbles, the top and bottom are equal to each other. Next, you want to cancel out any units that are the same diagonally, which I did. Okay. Next step is to multiply everything on the top. So you can do this with your calculator or you can just do it in your head. So 2.56 times 1,000 is 2,560. And see how the meters are left over? Meters right there. And then I draw in my line and I go 1 times 1 is just 1. And really, 2,560 divided by 1 is just 2,560. So there's my answer. Okay, let's try something else. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to erase this example. Okay. And let's try a different example. Okay, this time let's say I have 235 centiliters and I want that in milliliters. Okay, so let's try this one. So remember, whatever I'm given, you just put that over 1. And I'm just going to abbreviate like that. Okay, so that's always your first bubble right there. Okay, so the next thing you guys are going to do is add your second bubble. Remember, whatever we want to go away goes diagonal. So I want to get rid of centiliters. I stick that diagonal, but I want milliliters. So I'm going to put that up top. Okay, so how am I going to get these two to equal each other? So I know that 10 milliliters equals 1 centiliter. Okay, so remember, this can be grams, meters, or liters. Works the same way. Okay, so 10 milliliters equals 1 centiliter. So this is all set up, ready to go. Centiliters cancel because they're diagonal from each other. And now I just multiply across. So 235 times 10 is 2,350 milliliters. On the bottom, it's just 1 times 1. And remember, I don't really have to write that again. So I'm just going to keep my answer just like this. Okay. Let's try one more example. Okay, I'm just going to erase all this. Okay. Let's say we have 0.056 grams, and I want that in centigrams. Okay, first step, put what you're starting with over 1. Stick it in a bubble, add my next bubble. Grams, we want grams to go away. We want centigrams, so grams I'm going to put diagonal there. Centigrams I'm going to put here. Now I have to make the top and bottom equal. So I'm going to go up here to my bag of tricks, and I'm going to find out how many grams are in a centigram. So over here, remember, pointer ready to go. Okay. So remember, this blank means grams, meters, or liters. Same here. Grams, meters, or liters. Okay, so it looks like 1 gram equals 100 centigrams. So 100 is going to go next to my centigrams. And I'm ready to go. Cancel out the g's because they're diagonal. And 1 times 1 is just 1, so I'm going to just ignore that. And I'm going to have to multiply these across. So 0.056 times 100 is 5.6. My units are going to be in centigrams because that's what's left. And there's my answer. So I started with 0.056 grams, and I changed it into 5.6 centigrams. Okay, so that's how you do the bubble method. We're going to go over more about this tomorrow, and so just make sure you've written down everything in the video so far. All right, have a good night.